Have you ever imagined what it would be like to meet a true giant? Not a giant from a storybook, but a living, breathing giant of the sea. Well, let me introduce you to one of my absolute favorite animals on the planet, the humpback whale. These magnificent creatures are the rock stars of the ocean. They are famous for their incredible size, their acrobatic leaps out of the water, and their hauntingly beautiful songs that travel for miles. Seeing one in the wild is an experience that stays with you forever. It connects you to the wild heart of our world in a way few other things can. They remind us just how much wonder is hidden beneath the waves, waiting to be discovered and protected. So, what makes a humpback whale so special? Let's start with their looks. They have long, bumpy pectoral fins which are like giant wing-like arms. In fact, their scientific name means big-winged New Englander because they were first spotted off the coast of New England. These fins can grow up to 16 feet long, which is about the length of a small car. Their bodies are mostly dark gray or black, but their undersides are often a patchwork of white. This unique pattern on their tail or fluke is like a fingerprint. No two humpback whale flukes are the same, which is how scientists can identify and track individual whales. Now let's talk about size. These whales are enormous. An adult humpback can grow up to 60 feet long and weigh as much as 40 tons. That's heavier than a whole fleet of school buses. Even with all that size, they are incredibly graceful. They can launch their entire massive bodies out of the water in a spectacular display called a breach. Why do they do it? It could be to communicate, to knock off pesky barnacles, or maybe, just maybe, because it's fun. Imagine the power it takes to lift that much weight clear out of the sea. It's truly one of the most breathtaking sights in the entire animal kingdom. Despite their immense size, humpback whales are what we call baleen whales. This means they don't have teeth like a killer whale or a dolphin. Instead, they have something that works like a giant filter. Hanging from their upper jaw are hundreds of plates called baleen, which are made of the same stuff as our fingernails, keratin. When a humpback takes a huge gulp of ocean water, it uses its powerful tongue to push the water out through these baleen plates. The plates trap thousands of tiny krill, plankton, and small fish inside, which the whale then swallows. It's an incredibly efficient way to eat when your food is so small and you need so much of it. When it comes to getting a meal, humpback whales have developed one of the most ingenious hunting strategies in the animal kingdom. It's called bubble net feeding, and it's a fantastic example of animal intelligence and teamwork. A group of whales will work together to catch schools of small fish or krill. It all starts when one or more whales dive deep below their unsuspecting prey. They then begin to swim in a slow, upward spiral, blowing a steady stream of bubbles from their blowholes. This curtain of bubbles rises to the surface, forming a circular net that traps the fish inside. The fish are confused and scared, and they won't swim through the wall of bubbles. Once the trap is set, the real magic begins. The whales coordinate their next move with amazing precision. They communicate with each other using a series of calls and sounds, signaling that the net is complete and it's time to eat. Then, all at once, the entire group of whales surges upward through the center of the bubble net. They open their enormous mouths, which can expand to a massive size thanks to the pleats on their throats, and swallow thousands of fish in a single gulp. It's a perfectly executed plan, a beautiful display of cooperation that allows them to feast efficiently on their tiny prey. What's truly fascinating is that not all humpback whales know how to bubble net feed. It seems to be a learned behavior passed down from one generation to the next within specific populations. It's a cultural tradition, just like the ones we have in human societies. A young whale might learn by watching its mother and other adults in its group. This suggests a level of social learning and intelligence that is simply astounding. They aren't just acting on instinct. They are teaching, learning, and sharing knowledge. It shows us that there's so much more going on in the minds of these animals than we can possibly imagine. This cooperative feeding strategy is most common in the cold, nutrient-rich waters of their feeding grounds, like those in Alaska or Antarctica. During the summer months, these areas are teeming with life, providing the perfect opportunity for the whales to bulk up. They need to eat as much as possible, consuming up to 3,000 pounds of food every single day. This is because they are building up the thick layer of blubber they will need to survive their long journey to warmer waters, where food is much harder to find. Their whole year is a cycle of feasting and fasting, and this clever hunting technique is key to their survival. Humpback whales are true world travelers. They undertake some of the longest migrations of any mammal on Earth, traveling thousands of miles every single year. Their lives are split between two very different worlds, the cold, food-rich waters near the poles and the warm, calm waters of the tropics. They follow a predictable annual cycle driven by the two most important things in their lives, food and family. In the summer they head to places like Alaska or the Antarctic, where the long daylight hours cause massive blooms of plankton and krill. This is their feeding season, a time to gorge and build up their energy reserves for the long journey ahead. As the weather turns colder and the days get shorter, the whales begin their incredible journey toward the equator. They travel to warmer, subtropical waters like those around Hawaii, Mexico, or the Caribbean. This journey can cover up to 5,000 miles each way. Why do they travel so far? The warm, sheltered waters of the tropics are the perfect nursery for their young. Pregnant females come here to give birth to their calves. The calm seas and lack of predators, like killer whales, give the newborn calves the best possible start in life. It's a safe haven where they can grow strong before making the journey back to the feeding grounds with their mothers. This epic migration is a true test of endurance. During their time in the breeding grounds, the adult whales barely eat at all. They live almost entirely off the fat reserves they built up during the summer. For months, their focus is on mating, giving birth, and caring for the young. The mothers in particular have a tough job. They must produce rich, fatty milk to help their calves grow quickly while they themselves are fasting. A newborn calf can drink over 100 gallons of milk a day, and will gain weight at an astonishing rate. This ensures the calf is big and strong enough for the long swim back to the feeding grounds. Navigating across vast open oceans is no easy feat, yet these whales do it with remarkable accuracy year after year. How do they find their way? Scientists believe they use a combination of tools. They might use the Earth's magnetic field as a sort of internal compass. They may also use the position of the sun to navigate, and they could even follow underwater mountain ranges and other features of the ocean floor. Their haunting songs, which can travel for hundreds of miles, might also act as acoustic beacons, helping them stay in touch with other whales and navigate through the dark depths of the sea. It's a natural navigation system that is far more sophisticated than we can fully comprehend. One of the most captivating things about humpback whales is their voice. They are famous for their complex and beautiful songs. But here's a fascinating fact. It's only the male humpback whales that sing these elaborate tunes. They produce a long, repeating sequence of moans, cries, and groans that are organized into themes and patterns. These songs can last for up to 20 minutes and can be repeated for hours on end. The sound is so powerful that it can travel for hundreds, sometimes even thousands of miles through the water. It's a form of communication that connects whales across entire ocean basins, a serenade echoing through the deep. The purpose of these songs is still one of the great mysteries of the animal kingdom. Most scientists believe the songs play a role in mating. A male might be singing to attract a female, letting her know he's in the area and ready to breed. Or, he could be singing to other males, a way of establishing his territory or dominance. What's truly amazing is that all the males in a single population, for example, all the males in the North Atlantic, will sing the exact same song. This song slowly changes over time, with new phrases being added and old ones being dropped. It's like a hit song on the radio that evolves through the season. But how do they even make these sounds? Whales don't have vocal cords like we do. Instead, they produce sound by pushing air through their massive nasal cavities, much like a person humming. They can sing without ever having to open their mouths or release precious air. This allows them to create their continuous, otherworldly melodies while remaining deep underwater. The sounds they create are incredibly varied, from deep, rumbling bass notes to high-pitched squeals and chirps. Each sound is a note in a complex musical composition that has been passed down and transformed through generations of whales. Beyond their famous songs, humpbacks use a whole range of sounds and actions to communicate. They slap their tails on the surface of the water, a behavior known as tail lobbing. They also slap their huge pectoral fins, creating a loud, smacking sound that can be heard from a long way off. And of course, there's the spectacular breach, where they launch their entire body out of the water and crash back down with a thunderous splash. Each of these actions likely sends a different message, whether it's a warning, a greeting, or just a way of saying, "Here I am." It's a rich and dynamic language, a conversation happening all the time just beneath the ocean's surface. Humpback whales are more than just beautiful creatures, they are vital to the health of our oceans. They play a crucial role in the marine ecosystem, acting as ocean engineers. When they dive deep to feed and then return to the surface to breathe, they bring essential nutrients from the depths up to the sunlit zone. This process, known as the whale pump, helps fertilize phytoplankton, the tiny plants that form the base of the entire marine food web. More phytoplankton means more food for krill and small fish, which in turn feeds countless other species. Incredibly, phytoplankton also produces about half of the oxygen we breathe. So, in a very real way, whales help us all survive. Unfortunately, these gentle giants face serious threats in our modern world, and all of them are caused by human activity. One of the biggest dangers is entanglement in fishing gear. Whales can accidentally get caught in the ropes and nets used for commercial fishing, leading to injury, drowning, or starvation. Another major threat is ship strikes. As ocean traffic increases, the risk of a whale being hit and killed by a large vessel grows. And then there's the noise pollution from ships, sonar, and industrial activities, which can interfere with their ability to communicate, navigate, and find mates. It's like trying to have a conversation in the middle of a loud rock concert. Climate change is also having a profound impact on their world. As ocean temperatures rise, the distribution of their food sources like krill and small fish is changing. This means whales may have to travel farther to find enough to eat, putting extra stress on them during their long migrations. The warming oceans and melting sea ice are altering their habitats in ways we are only just beginning to understand. The survival of these magnificent animals is directly linked to the health of our planet. Protecting them means we also have to take better care of our oceans and our climate. But there is hope. Humpback whales have become a powerful symbol for marine conservation. Thanks to international protections put in place decades ago, like the ban on commercial whaling, many humpback populations have made a remarkable comeback from the brink of extinction. This shows us that when we work together, we can make a positive difference. By supporting sustainable fishing practices, creating marine protected areas, and working to reduce our carbon footprint, we can help ensure a safe future for these ocean giants. They are a reminder of the wild beauty of our world and our shared responsibility to protect it for generations to come.